John McCain, your late colleague in the Senate, fellow Arizonan, was the exemplar of the idea of country over party. That was a phrase that he popularized during his presidential race and again during his time in the Senate. There are a number of Republicans in the Senate, and in some ways you became fairly or unfairly the poster child for this, that it's country over party until it comes time to vote, right? And the Kavanaugh confirmation, which was a year ago, as we sit here, is one example of that. But you are often, you heard this, I'm not telling you something you didn't hear, that, you know, Jeff Flake always furrows his brow, as other Republicans do, and talk about country over party until it comes time to put up. What do you say about that?
Well, I think Mitch McConnell would disagree with you on that.
Yes, he probably would.
In terms of my votes.
Yeah, he probably would.
For the last 2 months of my time in the Senate, I held up about 40 judges from going through until we could get a vote on protecting the Mueller investigation.
Right.
So I am, first, a conservative. I do want more conservative judges.
Right.
I've liked the fact that it has become more balanced now on the federal court.
But you're also for the rule of law.
But you bet. And during the Kavanaugh hearing, my feeling was, and here's the problem with politics today. It's what we've come to in this place, particularly with social media as a backdrop, is a time when deliberation is just about gone, because people in a position that I was in, particularly if you're running for re-election, you make a calculation when a big issue comes along, whether it's debt and deficit or gun policy or climate change or Kavanaugh. You make a calculation, I only want to anger one side. And so when you rush to your tribe, you declare where you are, and you stay there. And if you never want to concede that a hearing that you might be chairing might inform your vote, or that an investigation going on might influence where you are.
An open mind is a liability these days, right?
Because as soon as you indicate that, then all sides come
at you, right?
And so you make a calculation, I only want to anger one side. They won't really be angry because they never thought I was gettable anyway.
Right.
And that's what you seek as a politician, elected official, political safety.
Yep.
And that's not where it is. To be the man in the middle is not a comfortable place to be.
And is that ultimately what caused you to make the decision? Because I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying. It seems to me that it would be difficult if you're trying to be thoughtful about this in a world that abhors, gray. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a black and white world these days politically.
It is.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you before, my wife counts our time out of office now, first months now, or weeks now, months, without death threats as a plus.
Would you say a word? I mean, since you brought that up, I want you to talk about that. You got death threats and continue to get, right? Mm-hmm. Talk about that.
Well, during the Kavanaugh hearing, obviously, there was a man from Chicago who called and said, you're standing in the way of the president's agenda. I'm going to take you and your family out. He was just sentenced a few weeks ago.
Said directly.
Yeah. Left a message. And so...
Lordy, there was a tape.
There were many others. My wife got several text messages to her cell phone linked to beheading videos with the addresses of our children. And then the Cesar Sayak, the one that mailed pipe bombs to a number of people, when they caught him, they said, you're all over his hard drives, and we found out he had tweeted under another name an aerial photo of my home in Arizona with the caption, Senator Flake, there are a lot of entrances, I'll see you soon.